Hi there, my name's Shamila Ahmed and I'm from Resilience Learning Partnership. I'm so sorry I can't be there in person. Today I'm going to speak to you about trauma-informed co-production and taking an ABCD approach, which stands for Assets-Based Community Development. And we're going to look at three different areas of RLP's work that are central to what we do. First one I want to talk about is our Crafty Kids project, which I'm sure lots of you will have heard about. It was a COVID-19 response, started at the beginning, literally within the first few weeks of the pandemic. It included myself and another member of staff at RLP, and then about 3 or 4 other people who had actually been engaging in a project that we were running previous to the pandemic, and they had been engaging in some workshops and learning about trauma-informed practice and what that looks like in regards to the services that they access. Everyone was equal partners from the beginning, and within a matter of weeks, we then managed to secure funding to ensure that all of the people who were involved were being remunerated for the work. The work consisted of creating and then actually delivering craft boxes to children and families, not only across our own local area of Clackmannanshire, where we are based, but out into the wider world in Scotland. They went as far as Aberdeen, and as west as, I think, over to Kilmarnock, right over in the west coast. We also, within about 9 months, managed to secure quite a large amount of funding from the Adapt and Thrive Fund to take the project to the next level, which we call enterprise mode. And you'll see from some of the images here that the guys are now looking to actually generate an income for Crafty Kids so that it can become sustainable. We actually have a little film here that we made last year that really shares the story of the boxes, and actually you can get a much better insight into co-production and the roles that everyone played within Crafty Kids to make it a success. I would say actually now that Crafty Kids has gone way beyond co-production, I literally have nothing to do with it. It is ran by the amazing Jamie Lee and Julie McDonald. Jamie Lee, who you see here, Julie McDonald is the person who gave me the great idea of making this recording in case I was having any connection issues today. We hosted the film and showed a screening of it last year, and Professor Leach actually really supported the project and recorded a special message for us. So if you have the time, please go and look at that film. It's on our YouTube channel, and I think it will help you better understand how everyone was an equal partner around the table on this project and how it became theirs. I would say that it's been purely down to a trauma-informed community development, assets-based approach to the individuals that we were working with in relation to our response as well to the pandemic. We all panicked a little bit at RLP, and you'll hear a wee bit more about that in the film if you want to go and watch it. Next one I'm going to move on to is our TIER pathway, which stands for Trauma-Informed Education and Recruitment. It is a 6-month co-produced pathway for individuals with lived experience of trauma and who are looking to pursue education, employment, or further training, learning, development opportunities, but who have maybe often not pursued those things because of the barriers that having experienced trauma can often put in your way in regards to pursuing areas such as these. The pathway itself was co-produced by a group of about 8 individuals, all with lived experience of trauma and who were all adult returners to further or higher education as well, which is a really core element of TIER. The second half of the pathway, which we're actually just about to go into, has an element for participants to also become a part of the constant co-production approach that we're trying to achieve in this particular piece of work. So they can choose from 3 different activities that they will co-produce alongside the facilitators, that they are creating a piece of media, something like a video or an audio recording or a podcast that would talk about their time on TIER and what it's given them and what they're getting from it. The second option is co-designing and then actually co-facilitating a workshop where we would invite professionals from our local area and we would discuss what trauma-informed services look like to individuals who have lived experience of trauma. And the third one is co-creating a poster or a nice big thing that we can stick on the wall or get out there on social media that represents co-production, both from an RLP perspective, because I often explain us as a co-produced organisation. We're constantly all co-producing with each other. It's how we are. It's kind of what we do every day. So a poster explaining a bit of that, but also what co-production means to every one of the different individuals who are involved in work of that nature with us. And we would love to keep on reproducing that or adding to it as new people come in and engage with the organisation. So the third area of work I'm going to talk about is much more general and broader, and these are two kind of really good live examples, but it's RLP strategic work. One is our work with NHS Education for Scotland and in regards to the National Trauma Framework and Training Plan and Agenda for Scotland in general. We work continuously now with NES within that space to ensure the voice of lived experience is being heard, but we're also co-authors of what many of you may get in your inboxes lately, which is the National Trauma Training Plan. If you look at section 3 there, the section on co-production, that is written, co-written by ourselves, and a good example of I think where co-production needs to go in the future. It discusses things like remuneration and proper recognition for involvement in work that takes place. The other one is Sanctuary Housing Association, and again is part of a really big and long-standing piece of work over the past couple of years now with Sanctuary Housing Association, but we will be co-hosting a new member of staff actually who will work for RLP and be hosted by RLP, but will work within a sanctuary housing area with sanctuary housing tenants. This role is an assets-based community development role, and actually a lot of it will develop once we get the new candidate in. We are interviewing for that in the next couple of weeks. So three very different areas of work that we currently have going on, all taking a co-production approach and all constantly trying to skill up, develop, remunerate, give many different opportunities to the people who are involved in the work and who may come in and out and be part of the processes as they kind of continuously go on, which kind of happens at RLP. It's the nature of our work. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that wasn't too much of a marathon for you. If you'd like to know any more about anything that I've spoken about today, please don't hesitate to get in touch. My contact details are on this slide. And thanks again so much for listening.